Hello folks and welcome to today's vlog, the most anticipated vlog for quite some time. We're at Alton Towers. He is like giddy with excitement. Anna and Amy are with us as well. We're actually parked really close to the entrance to the park, so we could just walk straight in. The entrance is just there. But of course they have the monorail here at Alton Towers, and Andy thinks it's a tram, and part of his excitement for the day is that not only do we get to do the Cbeebies ride, which he cannot wait for, but also before then we get to ride the Alton Towers tram. So we're heading in the opposite direction to everybody else who's parked in our car park, up towards where the water park is, so that we can get on the monorail. Because of course the priority for us is not to get from the monorail to the park and get in and get into the queue. We have to wait until we can film it leaving. Before everyone else who was on there is long gone. We now have these slopes completely to ourselves. One thing we hadn't anticipated with our Merlin passes is that because we need to buy Andy a ticket to get him in because he doesn't have a Merlin pass, that's the queue for tickets. Rubbish. And we're in. You excited? Yeah. We're excited. Job number one is we're going to buy Andy a hat because it is a properly sunny day, and his condition of being able to do the rides he wants to do, so he has to wear the hat. He hates things on his head, but he also doesn't really drink water, so he's got to pick his battle. And I think if he wants to do the ride he wants to do, then he'll cooperate and wear a hat in order to do it. We hope. Andy! Andy, that is a good hat. Good work. He's wearing a hat. Hold on a minute to wait. Mummy's faffing again. He's wearing a hat. Awesome. Next step will be sunglasses, but I think that might be pushing it a little bit too far for today. Well, kicking things off with the main event, this is the reason we're here. It's all he's talked about for a week. We're going on the In the Night Garden boat ride. I want you to contrast how he's queuing for this ride that he really, really wants to go on to how he's going to queue for every other ride for the rest of the day. Future Kev might even do something snazzy to show you the comparison. It's a 40-minute wait, but as we've said when we've come here before, it's a good piece of social training, getting him out there, doing some queuing, some delayed gratification. He doesn't get the opportunity to do that very often, so when we have the chance to get him to queue and he'll cooperate, goodness me, do we get him to queue, even though in theory we could get the disabled pass and go through just there where there's no queue at all. And there's another example of just how much he wants to do this. We've got him wearing a hat, we've got him queuing, we've got him drinking water. This is remarkable. Here we go then. This is why we're here.
Wiggle, 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 we're going to catch Ombly-boo, Tombly-boo, knock on the door. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
How many can you see?
What's it?
Ombly-boo, Tombly-boo, knock. Can you say it?
Where? Is she over there?
Are you blowing kisses, Upsy Daisy? Yes, my name is Echo Pico.
That was awesome. Andy,
The boat.
is that good?
Yeah.
You enjoy it? Good. Oh my word. Can someone lend me their credit card? Whoa! What do you got there? He's got all of this already, has he? Forget the credit card loan, not required anymore.
Is that it?
So if you've not watched any of our theme park videos before, we now operate what we call the 10 ride system, because Andy's ready to leave now, but he knows that before we leave we have to do 10 rides or the park has to close. So we've now done 1, this is going to be number 2, it's currently 1:45, queues close at 5 today I think, so spoilers, we ain't getting 10 rides in, it's just our way to keep him here till the end of the day, and it works for him. Are you having fun? Smile. Andy's answering for you.
I know. Please.
Important delivery.
I think with Andy's Eyes videos, there's probably going to be quite a few coming out over multiple days again, like how we did it when we went to Boston the other week. So we don't want one long 20-25 minute video, so we'll probably group them together into smaller videos, maybe 1 ride per day or something. We'll figure something out, but don't be alarmed if you don't see much today.
Try again.
Mr. Tumble together, shall we? Are you ready? After 3. 1, 2, 3. Mr. Tumble!
Ladybug. Daddy gonna get the fun.
Of course.
I say goodbye.
Okay, come on. Let's go around again and then we'll go that one. Go past.
As much as we're trying to get him to enjoy the sensory garden, and it is awesome, the Get Set Go Treetop Adventure is right there. It's the little monorail thing that's going around. He loves it. All he cares about is getting on there. We'll try and get him back in here afterwards because it is awesome. For a theme park to have a sensory garden, it's just fantastic. But we're struggling to keep him interested in it.
It's snail too. It's like that.
So you're learning how to do some words in sign language from these signs.
Double check. So this is snail,
Right.
and this is a ladybug.
Cool. Andy, what ride's this?
Guess I go.
Okay.
On that one, that's good.
So this will be ride number 3, and if we do a time check,
Oh, the bell train.
1:15. No really long queues yet. So far I think the longest queue we've had was to get Andy's ticket on the way in, which is good. Obviously lots of people at home watching the royal wedding, watching the FA Cup final, and we're basically getting free reign of Alton Towers on a Saturday in spring/summertime, lovely and warm. I can get used to this.
1 ride train, 2 rides and 1 more with us. And then we'll go for 1 more in the night. Yeah? Yes. And then back to the car. For home.
So he's still not crawling around on the floor and moaning like he has done in these queues before, but you can see he's now just talking himself through a little bit more what the rest of the day is, at what point he gets to go home. We've promised him we'll go on the In the Night Garden ride again right at the end of the day as his 10th ride, or whatever ride it is, come like 4 o'clock. But it's doing alright. This is a massive improvement on last year. A few slight queue problems, not because he's impatient necessarily, but these metal handrails, he keeps licking them. He loves licking metal, so they keep getting a bit of a lick, which we're stopping him doing. And we just turned around for a second. When we turned back, he was sat on the steps, sock off, shoe off, toe in mouth. So we don't really know what that was about either. We put everything back on again straight away, but I think he's getting a little bit a little bit bored with the whole queuing thing. We are going to have a break from it after this ride and go and have some lunch.
I've got blush on. I don't wear blush.
We get bogged on. Have fun. You're excited?
But now it's time to wake them up!
Wake them up!
Set, go!
Yes! I don't know, waking some bugs up apparently.
What else can you say? Ah, there's Postman Pat.
Looking after everything that goes on in Cbeebies Land.
They pump up the tyres and fill them up with go-go juice, ready for their...
Ready?
Loud as you can to wake
Go, wake up! Wake up! Wake up!
Wake up!
Do you enjoy that?
Yeah.
Is it time for lunch?
Yeah.
I don't know what a zingzilla is either.
Fun.
Annika!
Tired out.
Annika!
I've been given the camera.
That's because he's done, isn't he? So he's doing 3 for Andy's Eyes videos, is he?
4.
Oh, Andy, was that good?
Yeah.
Where are we going now?
Dinner.
We'll have some dinner. That sounds like an excellent plan. Let's go and have some dinner. Alton Towers, if you're watching and you want us to do a sponsored video in one of those rooms and make Andy's year, you know how to find us.
Say I love you. Yeah, it's not working.
We're currently getting led around by Andy, who has a very clear idea of where he wants to eat his dinner, but he's not communicating that with us, and we're kind of just doing laps of Cbeebies Land. We don't know where he's aiming for.
Can we have a look? What's the weird one?
No, you need your socks on,
Do
Andy.
you not want socks on?
No. Yeah, we'll get a green day.
I'm going to go sit down in the thing over there.
Something about his feet or his socks is bothering him. He's just taken his shoe and sock off again, foot back in his mouth again, and now he's taken both socks off and won't put them back on. He just wants his shoes without socks. The problem is, of course, we've still got a lot of walking around to do, and if he ends up with a blister, stuff like that with him gets infected because he picks at it. We're just stopping for some lunch in a very, very loud area. Somebody's not very impressed with it though. Well, lunch consumed. Feet fixed, I think. He's got his shoes and socks back on, walking comfortably. We're now leaving Cbeebies Land. It must be getting on for 3 o'clock at this point. It's 2:30, so we've got 2.5 hours until the queues close. And then I think, obviously once the queues close, they start moving you out the park. So we want to do the rapids, don't we? Because we like the rapids. I always like a teacup.
Yeah.
And there'll probably be some other stuff, I don't know. Can't remember what else is here.
Remember the pirate teacup? Is that in here?
I'm not sure. We went to so many theme parks last year. As Anna stopped. Andy, wait a minute. We went to so many theme parks last year. It's difficult to remember which stuff is at which one. Andy, where are we going next? We want to go to Haunted Hollow.
And then we're going around trains, and then Congo River, one more, and then we're going in the night garden.
Okay. He's planned our route out for us. We were trying to do it ourselves, but he just took the map off of Anna and is now navigating us. We were going to go a different way. He says this is the right way. He has the map. Who are we to argue?
No, thank you. Go to the gardens.
Where are we going, Andy?
To the gardens.
To the gardens.
And then we'll have
And then Haunted Hollow. Okay.
ride the train.
I believe you. Andy, there's no one else coming this way. You sure this is the right way?
Look, it's the garden now.
Seems pretty confident. It is. Oh, there you go. Because I was challenging him. He's going to go. He's shown Anna that he was right, and we're going to continue to go this way.
Yep.
Is it? Fair enough. Yeah, down there.
I nearly slipped.
We'll try not to. We're broken. I hope we're getting close to halfway up this hill. Me and Andy are doing alright. I don't know where Anna and Amy are. We just got our heads down and kept walking. They've probably passed out somewhere back there.
Take it off.
No, keep your shoes on. One thing's for sure, they needn't think we're going back down to find him. So if we go down, we're going to have to come back up again.
I feel like I'm going to be sick.
You're about a third of the way, I reckon.
Third?
About a third of the way would be my guess.
Say that.
Well, we've made it back up the other side. But I predict I am wetter now than I will be when we get off the rapids.
Yes,
I'm broken. So how are we all feeling after that little stroll in the gardens? Happy?
Yeah.
Is he saying things? Is he talking? Don't like that at all.
No?
Because of my knee. If it weren't for my knee, it wouldn't have been so bad because I've got to have, I have no padding. It really hurts after a while.
Oh dear. Next up, the rapids, which means I need to put you away for a little while and get the GoPro out if they let me. I've never been on this without a coat on before. Andy, hold on with both hands. That's it.
What hand? Oh no, 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 no,
It's gonna be me. It's gonna be me.
Yes, it wasn't me.
You alright, Andy?
Go one way, then we go back to the car.
Yes. Oh, there's a train. Oh, my back. Yeah, that really hurt. Well said, Andy. Oh, that really jolted my back. I feel like I've got whiplash. He stayed completely dry.
No, he got a bit splashed at the beginning.
I know.
Well, I think we all got through that relatively unscathed. Are you wet, Andy?
Yeah, watch out.
Are you wet? Are you wet?
A little bit.
Back on this camera, hopefully you can now see and hear us clearly again. Relatively unscathed on there. None of us are properly wet. There was a big jolt to all our backs about halfway through, so we're now all even more crippled than we were after that big hill. And Andy is absolutely adamant he wants to go home now. It's not quite 4 o'clock, I don't think. Hold on, it is. In fact, no, it's 4:15. So in theory, we could fit one more ride in. I think we're probably just going to call it a day though. As we got towards the end of that queue, he just turned to us and said, ready for a break now.
We're going back to the night garden.
Oh, are we?
That's what Andy said, I think.
Oh, okay, well then we might be going back to the night garden after all then. But he seemed pretty sure he just wanted to go to McDonald's and then go
He
home.
was kind of like, meh.
Well, there you go then, we might be back there one more time, which would be cool. Forget all of that, he's had a second wind, he's running towards the Runaway Mine Train. We continue. Remember this morning I said that I was going to show you later on in the day how queuing was different and how he wasn't that into it as the day went on. Here's our example of what queuing is like at like 4:30.
It's alright, we're not moving yet.
What's this?
Make sure you take it. Hold on.
Go listen to the bells.
He's desperate to hear the bells that are usually on that ride. I haven't heard them at all since
Yeah,
we
he
were
didn't
queuing.
hear him. He was a bit, he was like, no bells. Bells, please.
Hopefully he is alright. Andy, I don't think the bell's working. Andy, Andy, the bell's not working. There's a bell on there that was working last year, isn't working now. I think that's the only reason he wanted to go on that ride, but seems alright now. I think we're heading back to the car now, are we? Because I don't think we're going to get to the Inner Night Garden ride again in time. We'll try. I suspect we might not get there in time. We're getting magic ice cream. Right, this is the first thing like this I've had since we've been doing, well, since we did the 100 days of real food and then stopped 5 days from the end. This is chocolate honeycomb crunch with bits of honeycomb on top.
Yum.
And it is awesome. The other thing about these Merlin passes that I don't think I've mentioned before, you get a massive discount on stuff like this in the park. These ice creams would have been £5 each, or just under £5 each, which is crazy for ice cream. But for the 3 of them, because Andy didn't want one, it cost £10.20 or something like that. So it's a massive discount. Still very expensive ice cream, I acknowledge that. You alright, Andy?
Yeah, time to go home.
It is time to go home. We've finished our ice cream. We're going to go home. Well, we're going to go to McDonald's. Do you want to go to McDonald's?
3 cups with Randy sauce.
Let's see. How is your feet now? I think he's absolutely spent. Long-term viewers will know how I feel about cable cars, aka the devil's transport. However, we are not going down that hill and up the hill the other side again. I don't know where the map's gone. I'm not sure I trust the map reader after the route we went on before. So we're going to go on the cable cars, assuming they're still running.
Get us to the garden.
Oh yeah, he got us where we had to go. I'm just not sure I'm fully on board with the route that he chose. We are the worst navigators in the world. I'm fairly confident the cable cars are nowhere near where we are now. We're just lost. Found them! Should we walk back through the gardens again? No? You filming it for your channel, Andy?
Yeah.
No.
That's what I'm asking him.
You filming?
Do through Andy's eyes.
It's not very interesting.
I see. You would think the other cable cars going by would be. It's not that different from a tram.
Okay.
I have a question. This is right back next to Cbeebies Land, yeah?
Alright.
Why didn't we just get the cable car earlier?
Because you decided to go down that way.
Well, I was just following Andy with his map. We're back at the main entrance now, and there's going to be a massive, massive queue for the monorail, which in theory we don't need to get because we're parked quite close, but somebody will insist that we finish off the day by going back on the tram, so we're going to be doing that. It is a lovely, lovely evening. There are a lot of great things about having our Merlin passes. I've got to say one of the absolute best is that we don't have to queue up for parking with everybody else now, so we get the parking included on the pass. It's awesome. And this is what I get for being smug about the parking and actually during that queue. This is the queue for the monorail, which is all the way over here. We're like a 5-minute walk from the car as well, which is mad. Oh, I think we are actually walking. Hooray! With so much going on today, it would be quite easy to not really make a big deal of some of the massive breakthroughs we've had just happening today. So just to recap, he's drunk at least ½ litre of water. He's wore a hat all day. He's agreed to forego going on the monorail, which he loves, to walk because it's nearer. He's queued for every single ride that he's gone on, including one he didn't really want to go on in the shape of the rapids. It's just been, it's been a good day of progress. Have you had fun as well?
Yes.
And this one has had fun. Have you had any breakthroughs today? You managed to eat an ice cream without spilling it on your trousers, which is more than I managed. Oh, you spilled yours on your trousers as well, did you?
I did.
They were sloppy ice creams. I feel like we've been walking forever and we're never going to stop.
You know when we came in, it said car park. It said go straight up to the water park.
Well, now I'm feeling a real sense of personal achievement, because for the first time ever, We've walked into the car park, walked straight to the correct car park, and we've walked straight to our car. Actual geniuses. Well, this is a nice thing to come back to. Someone, presumably the guy was parked here, who I'm really hoping I got his number plate on camera this morning so that I can put that through the insurance company. But they're reversing out. They've basically pulled half of our back bumper off, which is nice of them. Really hope that that I got their number plate on camera. I don't know if there's any CCTV in here. Is there cameras up there maybe? Well, that spoiled the day a little bit.